In this video, I'll be doing a quick side-by-side comparison between Zing and Google Looker Studio, or Google Data Studio as it was previously known, to see the differences in experience when it comes to uploading various types of data sources and creating visualizations based on different forms of data. First, I'll be connecting them to a PostgreSQL data source containing information about support tickets logged at an organization. I'll then use the data to create a line chart that tells me the amount of tickets logged based on the service type. I'll also be timing the time I take to accomplish each process on the two platforms for each round of tests. First, we start off by adding the database onto each tool by putting in the database credentials. With Zing, you're able to add in every table at once, whereas on Looker Studio, you can only choose one table at a time. Next, we move on to creating the visualization. This whole process was a lot easier on Zing, as I could just drag and drop fields onto the existing chart templates, and it was much more intuitive than the Looker Studio, where I had to figure out which part of the template to drag each field to, and that took some trial and error and took some time to figure out. As you can see, I was already done on Zing, as it gave me the line chart that I desired. And not long after, I was done on Looker Studio. I like the fact that Looker Studio sorted the line chart based on the number of tickets logged in descending order. And as you can see, I was slightly quicker using the Zing data to accomplish this whole process. Next, I'll be connecting them to a Google Sheets, which contains location-based information that a real estate agent uses to showcase to its clients the amount of properties that he or she is managing. The process of adding the Google Sheet was slightly easier on Google Looker Studio, as it could immediately connect to my Google account to see what sheets I have in my account. And I was able to get to work quicker on Looker Studio. With Google Looker Studio, you could also determine the coordinates of each data point just by putting in the address of each data point. Whereas for Zing, you'll have to create lat and long fields corresponding to the latitude and longitude of each data point in order for Zing to recognize the data. However, with Zing, you could once again drag and drop each field easily onto the existing chart template. And you could have multiple data fields for the tooltip. Whereas for Looker Studio, you're only limited to one data field that appears on the data tooltip. If you want additional information to show up for each data point, you'll have to add them on a separate data table, as you can see. That's what I did in this case. This process was not as straightforward on Looker Studio because I couldn't add everything onto the maps chart, whereas I could do that for Zing. which saved me some time, as you can see here. Moving on, I'll be adding an Excel file which contains housing information on the Bay Area over the last few months as the data source. I'll then be creating a stacked line chart telling me how median home prices as well as the number of homes sold have changed based on the city across the past few months. First, we begin by adding the Excel file onto each platform. And I should note that Looker Studio does not support Excel files, so you'll have to spend time converting them into .csv files before uploading it onto Looker Studio, which took some time for me to do. Once akin for Zing, it was really easy just to be able to drag and drop fields onto the existing chart template, which worked amazingly for me. For Looker Studio, maybe because I uploaded a .csv file, it had issues detecting the type of data for each field. For example, it recognized the month of period end as well as the median sale price as string data types, whereas they're actually of a date time format and a number format respectively. And as you can see, I wasn't able to get the line chart that I desired because of these formatting issues. So, what do you think about the differences between Zing and Google Looker Studio? What do you like and dislike about each platform? Let me know in the comments. Thank you.